Hey chat, it's Gab. I don't really know where I land in Charli's fan base. Now, let me clarify a little bit when I say that. Ever since Brat dropped, I've noticed a sort of separation between either the real angels who've been there for her since the very start, versus the brats, who only started listening to her music since she dropped that album, and, for lack of a better term, garped their position in Charli's fandom. I listened to Gone with Christina and the Queens back in 2020, but I only really started getting into her music at the very end of 2021. Now, with that being said, is that a stupid question to ask? Probably, yeah. But I think this question could lead to an interesting conversation about Charli's discography. Every project that Charli made from True Romance up until Crash has had some pretty serious involvement by her label, Atlantic Records. Just to recap, Charli had a pretty crazy partnership with Samsung during the Crash era.
I know you guys know that I get paid for this, but
that led her to some pretty strange places, including a Roblox concert. In case if you're wondering, yes, I saw it, and yes, I was quite annoying about it. Track 10 was repurposed on Blame It On Your Love featuring Lizzo, and no shade to the defenders of that song if there are any, but it's low-key one of the most forgettable tracks on that self-titled record. Plus, there was the whole thing of Charli trying to drop her 2017 mixtapes, not to mention the whole kerfuffle of XEX World being in development hell until it inevitably leaked. In retrospect, we can all say that Atlantic Records was to blame for that happening, right? I started diving deeper into Charli's music right before the Crash era, and I think you can attribute that to the true start of Charli's pop girl moment. Now, Crash was not nearly as big as Brat was, of course, but I feel like there were quite a few hits on that record. I mean, I went to Walmart recently and they're still playing good ones on their radio station or whatever. The point I'm trying to make is Crash had some of Charli's biggest hits in a long while, like Good Ones and Beg For Me with Rina Sawayama, and I feel like that might be why Charli's label began to trust her ideas more and allow her to do more things. Now, and I mean no shade when I say this, but Brat really felt like the last true big pop girl moment that we've had for a long while. So, over 2 years after that, where's Charli now? A few months after Brat dropped, Charli did an interview with Billboard magazine, saying whatever comes after that will be the polar opposite of Brat. And that's been especially felt this year. I don't think anyone could have predicted the outcome that Charli's music was gonna go, and I mean that as nicely and positively as possible. Charli's been in a sort of musical renaissance this year. She's done an entire companion album for the Wuthering Heights film from earlier in the year, and now we're here, talking about music, fashion, film. Our first taste of this album came with the back-to-back singles Rock Music and I Keep Thinking About You Every Single Day and Night. As you could probably imagine, like a lot of other people, I wasn't a fan of either of these songs. The lyrics on Rock Music felt a bit too cringy to me, and the production on both tracks felt too minimal for my liking. Now, since the album dropped, I've grown to like these tracks quite a bit. Wow, what a shocker, I know. Now, I'm not gonna say it's perfect because it's very much not, but Rock Music is a perfectly fine opener for the album. I can't say I've returned to it much, but at least I get it now. Unlike Rock Music though, I loved Spring Summer 26 on my first listen. The hook of this one is so addicting. The lyrics touch on the current state of the world while also being retrospective on Charli's life and career. This is probably my favorite song on the album. Actually I don't know. It's really hard to choose a favorite song for this album because a lot of it ranges from forgettable to instant classics in Charli's discography. So, my opinion of Spring Summer 26 is that it gets a golden star of appreciation. Yippee! Hooray, hooray, we rejoice. Breaking news, Gabby likes Spring Summer 26. The hook on Card Declined kind of feels like it's going into I'm 14 and this is deep territory, about how you can buy looks and a luxurious lifestyle, but you can't buy yourself a good personality. Out of everything on this album, I'm not super crazy on this song. What I am crazy about, on the other hand, is the rock version of the B-side, I Keep Thinking About You Every Single Day and Night, at the end of the song. I really, really like this. I wish we could have gotten a full version of this, as I actually prefer this over the production on the B-side. Camera is also one of my favorite tracks on this album. This might be a random side note, but does anyone get Flume vibes on the hook? I knew the hook sounded familiar to me when I heard it for the first time, but I couldn't really put my finger on it. But is that not like almost the exact same hook as the one on the end of track 1 with JPEG Mafia? Subscribe to All Hail Gabby for more random ass song associations. Okay, jokes aside, the song has some of my favorite lyrics off the entire album, about how being an actor has been much more fulfilling to her than music, and how she feels more enjoyment being someone else rather than being Charli XCX. I'm still a little mixed about how I feel about the production because the guitar chops are a little hit or miss with me, but it doesn't take away my enjoyment of the song too much. Golden star of appreciation for this one. I really feel like the song 2007 shouldn't work for me considering how repetitive it is, but it is a really addicting song, easily one of my favorites on the album. This one also gets a golden star of appreciation. I'm Afraid is a pretty forgettable song, which is a shame since it has some of Charli's most confrontational and introspective lyrics on the entire album. I can appreciate it even though I don't really return to it super often. Yeah might be my least favorite track on the album. While yes, it is catchy, it's a Charli XCX song after all, there's barely any depth to the lyrics whatsoever, which feels sort of contradictory to the rest of the album. It pretty much consists of, I don't want to feel it, wait, now I wanna. GFOTY, is that you? Wink Wink has quickly become a fan favorite off of this album, so it might be a little controversial when I say that this song is just meh to me. Now, I usually love Charli's hooks. It's one of the biggest reasons why I love her music, but the hook on Wink Wink doesn't really do anything for me. I'm also not the hugest fan of the talk singing performances she does on the verses. I don't know, it's cool that other people really like this song, but it's just simply not for me. Someone did a TikTok about how this album could be considered a musical in some ways, and I cannot stop thinking about that video whenever I listen to the song now because it is actually so accurate for this song.
I used to lick cream or strawberries in the summer, and maybe I kissed your dad.
Persona. I think that, as for overall style and direction, there is no other song on the album that shines as much in this new sound as this song. It sounds really fresh in her discography, and easily one of my favorite songs of this album. Gold star of appreciation. Magic Metal Montana is a sweet little tribute to A.G. Cook, Charli XCX's creative director. Charli's vocal performance doesn't really do much for me, but the beat is just really, really catchy. It's a nice little song. I like it quite a bit. The real meat and potatoes of this album is the final track, No One Lasts Forever, featuring film director David Cronenberg. And it's easily an oddball in Charli's discography, but a really, really good oddball nonetheless. It really hits the themes of the album home, and the last minute of the song where the part of David Cronenberg saying, "They are dead, they are gone, no one lasts forever," just the looping on and on, is easily one of the most memorable parts of the album. I really love the longer songs in Charli's discography. They don't pop up often, but they are some of Charli's best songs. This one also gets a gold star of appreciation. Okay, so this track isn't on the album, it came out in 2023 actually, but I do feel the need to shout out the song Heavy on A.G. Cook and Finn King's album Soft Rock. A lot of that album feels like the starting point of what Charli does on Music Fashion Film. Not to mention it's a fucking banger. They've also recently performed that song live, so to me, this is canon. Overall, what Music Fashion Film, as well as the Wuthering Heights soundtrack, really bring to Charli's discography is a fresh change of pace, as well as a new sound. While, yes, I loved Brat and its corresponding remix album, a lot of Charli's music started to feel a little same-ish to me. God, I hope that isn't crazy to say. Please don't kill me for saying this, but I feel like Charli's done this album at the perfect time, because if she continued the sounds of Brat, I'm gonna be real, I probably wouldn't have liked this as much. Now, before I close this off, I want to bring up what I think is the biggest flaw for this album, and many people will probably agree with me. This album is really short. This is also an issue I've had with the Wuthering Heights soundtrack. Forgive me for going on a tangent with this, but Wall of Death is easily one of the best songs that she's made recently. A lot of the orchestral production that album had really shines on this song in particular, and the really great fun part about this song is that it is just barely 2 minutes long. Some songs don't feel fleshed out enough, while some of the songs that are fleshed out are just meh to me, and this issue is especially on Music Fashion Film. While I'm pretty sure this is intentional, I feel like many people would have liked to see Wink Wink fleshed out a bit more, or for rock music to have something more to it. I don't know, maybe I'm just coping a little bit here. So the question that's left to be answered here is, where does this fall in Charli's discography? Mine is Sucker. I haven't really listened to that yet. Here is my very articulate and nuanced take in this discussion. Oh. Okay, so here's the thing. The plan was that I was going to take this in a sort of tier list format, and I knew that music, fashion, film would be at the very least above one of her other albums. However, I was having quite a hard time figuring out what it would be because, annoyingly, Charli has a really consistent discography. Maybe True Romance, although that album has a really unique sound and creative direction that I can appreciate for really sticking out from the rest of her albums. I can't really make any arguments for Sucker, as I don't really think it's worth a listen since there's not a ton of defenders for that album. Maybe one day, but I don't really want to listen to an album that's reportedly not bad at best. Now, obviously, I'm not going to say shit about the 2017 mixtapes, because if I said a word, there would be an angry mob outside my door, and also because I really like those mixtapes. Maybe Charli? There's some great songs on there. Really great songs. I just think it's a little messy and inconsistent. You know what? Yeah, I think I like music, fashion, film just a little more than Charli, or at the very least, they're at the same level of quality. Am I crazy? Is that crazy to say? Am I fake for saying that? Are you live action role playing? Are you LARPing? To sum it down, music, fashion, film is a solid album, and despite my mixed relationship with it since the release of rock music, I can applaud the switch in direction. It's a little hard to exactly pinpoint where Charli's music will go next, or if she's gonna take a break from it all for a minute. And honestly, I don't think I want to know.
He really hit that note at the end there. I'm nearly in tears. It was stunning. And 3 kings.
If you fuck with this video and you want to keep seeing what I'm doing, then maybe consider subscribing. I'm just starting out this channel, so I would hella appreciate it. So I would really appreciate it if you considered subscribing. Okay, thanks for listening to me be on my soapbox about music, fashion, film for the past couple minutes. I appreciate it. Have a good day. See you later.